Yes, I think that, so I'll start with Celonis, that I think their process intelligence uh, mindset actually was a step ahead of what everybody else was talking about, call it 5 years ago, when we were trying to figure out what is the right rules-based way to automate work and to figure out how to make complex workflows happen. And then we got this generative AI thing that takes this non-deterministic approach, which is more flexible, less accurate, but also very attractive to a bunch of people. And Solona said, well, we've got to figure out how to merge our approach with this approach. And that's an interesting combination because we're talking about a company that now has been thinking about process mining deeply for a very long time. And now adding some of that actual deterministic and rules-based logic to the Gen AI world in this to create these AI assistants. That makes a lot of sense to me.
Well, so we'll see
Mm-hmm.
where that ends up. But I will say this: I think that process mining is something I've been a huge fan of Celonis and process mining as a category for a very long time. I think it is, I'm a process guy at heart, so this has always been sort of, such a critical element that I thought people have not given enough credence to. And I think Celonis was an interesting sort of case study because they're obviously large, they've grown well, they have some very big partnerships with companies like ServiceNow. And yet, for all this upward momentum they seem to be having, I feel like it plateaued. I feel like there are
Mm-hmm.
those companies that sort of got it, drank the Kool-Aid and understood it, but they never quite reached that tipping point where process mining became a de facto way that organizations operated. And I was disappointed by that. And so I think to a certain extent, their approach here is a necessary evolution. They have to figure out how to get to this next point where organizations are saying that this process awareness is central to our ability to execute and function, particularly against our AI strategy. And my hope, my concern for them is they don't overshoot, right? And that's I don't personally see that their primary focus should be to provide a conversational agent themselves. I think that they are correct in that their process graph provides a foundational technology that they should be partnering with other organizations to leverage as the basis. Because when we look at where Gen AI succeeds and where it fails, it always succeeds or fails based on the quality of the context that you can give it, right? And they are correct. Celonis is correct in their statement in this. I don't know if it's an article, I guess, or press release, but
Mm-hmm.
where they talk about the fact that every enterprise's context is unique and it is existing within their process makeup, right? Within that process structure, that their entire business model is based on an exposing, bringing up and allowing you to see what's actually happening. So I think there's tremendous potential here as long as they don't get too sucked into the Gen AI thing where they're trying to be the Gen AI co-pilot for everybody or whatever, and then I think they're going to lose it.
Yes, but they definitely could play a very important role as the contextualization cog that
Yep.
translates every LLM into an actual business tool. Because that middle aspect of understanding what is the business jargon that I really need to contextualize and emphasize in my results is definitely what Celonis has in spades.